You got in a lot of trouble, or at least some trouble, which, again, if you're getting into
trouble.
Well, if you get into trouble, it means that people are actually watching you and they care about what you're saying, right? So the fact that people focused on this and got a lot of response tells you at least people are following your campaign a little bit. You were asked a question by a reporter about whether you considered the president, meaning Donald Trump, sorry, Joe Biden, a threat to democracy. Here is what you said.
Do you think that the president is a threat to democracy?
Yes. Because if he wasn't, he would say something about what happened in Florida last week. And if he wasn't, he would do something about what happened in New Hampshire. How can you be the president of the United States, condemning the former president, who is clearly a dangerous man, and do what he did in New Hampshire and allow what's happening in Florida? How?
So in response to that, a lot of people went after you. Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania said his assertion is laughable, and said your candidacy is a dream for Donald Trump. Senator Tina Smith from your state of Minnesota. President Biden is running against an actual real-life threat to democracy, a person who literally just said yesterday he would be a dictator on day one, and Dean Phillips is saying the candidate for president, who he, by the way, voted with 100% of the time or thereabouts, is a threat to democracy. It sounds desperate.
Yeah, well, that's what I would expect from a politician, to say just that, to kind of circle the wagons. And here's the truth. Do I think Joe Biden is a real threat to our democracy? No, of course not. He's a good man, someone who I respect. He's not trying to tear down the institutions of democracy like Donald Trump is. When I said that day, and I meant it, I just learned about both North Carolina and Florida, the Democratic parties in both states literally, proactively, intentionally disenfranchising millions of Democratic voters. And yes, I was disappointed and shocked and angry. And here's the truth. If the president does not acknowledge that and respond to what happened in Florida and North Carolina, if the president does not acknowledge that when you knowingly are running against the most dangerous man in the world and are losing to him in every single one of the battleground states, have historically low approval numbers, that is not a threat to democracy by not having a thoughtful competition. If I were President Biden and I cared about democracy, and I believe he does, he should do one of two things. Either thoughtfully exit the stage or invite other candidates to it.
And but you know Democrats are very sensitive to the phrase threat to democracy, right? They believe that that should be uniquely applied to Donald Trump.
Sure.
And the notion when someone like you, because, you know, there are many on the right who would say Joe Biden is a threat to democracy, and the position of Democrats is you're kind of joining with the Republicans in trying to bring down Joe Biden.
I think both parties right now are acting in ways that are threatening to democracy in different ways. No, not equally. I think the far right is trying to literally break down the foundations of democracy. That's far more dangerous. But I'll tell you what the left is doing right now. The Democratic Party, at least in 2 states, I don't want to accuse blame across the country yet because others have a chance still, but in at least 2 states, I'm sure with the blessing, at least tacit blessing, of both the White House and the Democratic National Committee, 2 states have said we're not going to have a primary election. I mean, come on, Dan. I'll let your viewers decide. Is that a threat to democracy if a party decides that an election is done without one vote being cast, that only one person will be offered on the ballot? Come on, that's nonsensical, it's dangerous, it's wrong, and yes, it is a threat to democracy. It's perhaps a slower drip, but if people don't wake up and end this delusion that both parties are working against voters, we're in real trouble. And let me say one more thing. Primaries. If people want to fix this and be part of the resistance and actually be the disruptors that I know so many people want to do right now, go register to vote now. I don't care if you vote for me, but please go vote in your primary. If you're a Republican, go vote in your primary. Would I like to see you vote for somebody other than Donald Trump? My goodness, yes. It would be in our country's best interest. If you're a Democrat, please register and vote. If you think Joe Biden is the one that's best positioned to beat Donald Trump, vote for him. But if you look at the polls and you give me a chance and listen to me and maybe get to know me a little bit, I would believe that you might choose me. The point is we need to vote in primaries, Dan, and both parties don't want you to. They don't want primary participation, which is why only about 14% of the country votes in primaries. They just want to choose the candidates for all of us. That makes us crazy when we go to the voting booth in November and say, are these the best candidates the country can offer? That's because of the 2-party system.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.